answer. Let's go and have some adventures. Let's go and have some adventures with Thomas. Let's go and have some adventures. Sodor's a fun place to be. Sodor's greatest adventures. Sodor's greatest adventures.
It was a beautiful day on the island Sodor. Thomas, the tank engine, was puffing along his branch on his two faithful coaches with Annie and Cloudbell. When all was silent, something fast passed by. Jown! Whoa, said Thomas. What was that? We don't know, said his coaches. But if we can get to the next station, then you can go and follow it. Good idea, said Thomas. And Thomas raced to the next station. Out on the main line, Rebecca was pulling her express train when she saw the weird thing as well. Whoa, said Rebecca. What was that? At Mayfleet Station, Percy was delivering some mail. He sometimes drove them during the day, like he did with the Fat Control's letter one time, which was in my last story. And James was like to also do sometimes as well. However, Percy also saw the strange thing as it flew by Mayfleet. Whoa, said Percy. Letters went everywhere. Is that a UFO? Puffed Percy. But he didn't know, and he wanted to see the strange thing. So did Rebecca. At Wellsworth, Edwin and Philip were busy shunting trucks. James and Rachel were also there. They have just delivered a goods train to Wellsworth, and James offered them to help with the shunting. Rachel was just resting. Philip was waiting for James to go over the section that points first into the yards, so he can go next. But however, they were interrupted by the weird plane. As they flew by, the engines and Rachel got shocked. What was that? Said Philip. I don't know, said James. But it sure was fast, said Rachel. Edward looked. It's heading to Ulster Castle, he replied. We better hurry and get the shunting done and better follow, said Edward. Good idea, said Philip. Here, said James, as they raced off to finish the shunting. Soon, Edward, James, Rachel, and Philip soon met up with some of the steam team members as they all head up to Ulster Castle together to find and see what was going on. Soon, the mysterious vehicle arrived at Ulster Castle as all the engines puffed through the gates and arrived at where the machine was standing. Smoke came from it. The engines were a bit nervous until they found out who came out of it. It was the Earl. The engines were surprised, including Rachel. Oh, hello everyone, said the Earl. What are you all doing here? We all saw this strange thing, puffed Thomas. Yes, said Edward. We have seen it fly by over Sodor. And it's very fast, said Philip. Yes, said Rachel. Even gives some of us a fright. The Earl chuckled. What is it anyways? Said James. Well, you can ask my dear friend here. Who is it? Said Rebecca. The Earl smiled. Engines, meet my good friend Root, who has come all the way from America. Root smiled. Hey everybody, she said. I'm Root. I'm an inventor. I was the one who created this machine. The engine smiled happily. Percy was a bit frightened as he went back a bit. Thomas smiled. Hello, Root. Root, nice to meet you. I'm Thomas. And these are my friends. Rebecca, Edward, James, Rachel, Philip, and Percy. Huh? Where is Percy? Come on, Percy, there's no need to be shy, said Thomas. Are you sure that's not a UFO? said Percy, scaredly. Of course it's not, said Root. It's a flying plane. I created myself. That's why I said I'm an inventor. Well, said Thomas, we are the STEAM team. Well, Rachel and Philip are not, because they're not STEAmies. Sorry. Being rude. It's fine, said Philip and Rachel. Me and James were part of the STEAM team, said Edward, but we moved out of Tickner's shed, said James. But we still do some things with the STEAM team. Like remember the dog's accident? Oh yes, Rebecca. So you see, they're now in a group called Formula Members, but the Formula Members are still pretty much part of the STEAM team, thus they're called Formula Members, but they still help us out. Root, that sounds cool. What is a road plane? Puffed Percy. A road plane is a plane, but it also has wheels, so I can go on land. You better get used to some of these. You better get used to these things, said the Earl, because we are organizing a technology fair, and there's going to be a lot of vendors coming over around the world to also Castle show what their inventions have got up their sleeves. Whoa, said the engines. Yes, said Root. So you better be ready. And we're going to call it World of Tomorrow, said the Earl, chuckling. The engines were a bit looking forward to. They thought it sounds cool. Now, said the Earl, you excuse me, me and Root have to go into the castle now. I better show where she can stay. Stay for now. Come on then, Root. And be all prepared. The World of Tomorrow is underway. Everyone was excited, but Thomas was worried. He looked at the road plane. He had a feeling something bad was going to happen. Late that night at Tempest Sheds, Thomas, Percy, and Rebecca told the rest of the STEAM team about the Earth's plan. The engines were interested. I wonder what other inventions there'll be, said Nia. Maybe we saw like engines of the future or something, said Spencer. Do you think the man could do it by itself? Asked Percy. No, said Thomas. Wait a minute. If the man could do it by itself, then maybe Patrick could as well. The other engines laughed. Don't be so silly, said Emily, as the engines started to go into the sheds. Just nothing can replace us engines, said Spencer. So as the engines backed into their berths. But Thomas was still worried as he backed into his shed. The next morning, all the engines woke up to another busy day. The Fat Controller arrived at Titman's sheds to give their jobs. Right, said the Fat Controller. As you all know, the Earl announced that there's going to be a technology fair up at Owen Castle. So, said the Fat Controller, well, we have to help with the preparations, said the Fat Controller. I may now give all the list of jobs you all have. Yes, sir, said the engines. The Fat Controller was delighted and got his pad out. Right, let's do it, Fat Controller. Right, said the Fat Controller. Thomas wanted to be the first engine to get his job. However, the Fat Controller went off to Percy first. Percy, I need you to collect some tents from Brendan docks and take them up to the castle so people can stay in them. Yes, sir, said Percy. Then the Fat Controller went off to Spencer. Spencer, I need you to collect chairs and tables and bring them up to the castle so people can stay on them, like eat food and everything like that. Yes, sir, said Spencer. But I have another job for you in a minute. So you've got my waiting. Yes, sir, said Spencer. Then he turned off to Neil. Neil, I need you to collect some metal beams for a giant wheel up at the castle, said the Fat Controller. Yes, sir, said Neil. Then he turned off to Emily. Emily, I need to collect some wood for the stage while they shot their vengeance from Nafford's yard. Yes, sir, said Emily. Thomas was getting a bit annoyed. He wanted his job very fast so he can show that the engine of the steam engine are the best inventions. Then he turned over to Gordon and Rebecca and then back to Spencer. Gordon and Rebecca, business as usual for you two, taking the express, but once everything's ready at the technology fair, I need you to bring passengers there once it's all ready. Yes, sir, said the two engines. Oh, but the fact is, before you go, I have a very special job for you, and this also includes Spencer. What do you mean, sir? Asked Spencer. Spencer, after you deliver the tables and chairs, I want you to meet up with Gordon and Rebecca, and you three must head down to Brendan Docks and meet a very surprised guest. The three engines were surprised and were thrilled. Oh, I can't wait, said Rebecca. I wonder where this guest comes from. Could be an engine that Thomas, James, and Nia met when they traveled around the world with Ace. Who knows, said Spencer. So, or could be some engines that you met when you went around the world, said Spencer. Huh, said Gordon. That was good, wasn't it? Never mind that now, said the Fat Controller. Then he finally turned over to Thomas, who's been the most engine waiting for his job the most. Finally, said Thomas. And Thomas, said the Fat Controller, I want you to collect some empty trucks from Nafford's yard and bring them to the Blue Mountain Quarry. Yes, sir, said Thomas. The Fat Controller saw Thomas leaving and quickly stopped him. But wait, Thomas, said the Fat Controller. Thomas stopped. What is it, sir? After you deliver the trucks to the Blue Mountain Quarry, I want you to get Annie and Clarabelle and go down on your branch line to Farquhar Station and pick up some workmen and bring them to the castle so they can help and build the stuffs. Yes, sir, said Thomas. Very well then, said the Fat Controller. Well, that's all the jobs you have for today now, engines. So let's show Thea what Sodor can do. Yes, sir, said the engines. And the Fat Controller walked away. The engines were puffing onto the turntable. But then Thomas stopped him. Wait, team, he said. Remember, said Thomas, we have to show everyone that steam engines are the best inventions. The engines were getting a bit tired of Thomas's nonsense. Oh, you stop going on about that, said Gordon. Not trying to be rude, Thomas, but everyone knows steam engines are good. Yes, said Spencer. Why do you think Mallard is the world's fastest steam engine will come over in the world? I thought you were, said Percy. Well, said Spencer. So, never mind that now, said Nia. Well, we have jobs to do. Agreed, said Rebecca. Yes, said Emily. Said Percy. I know, my best friend might have a fair point, but we still have jobs to do. Yes, said Spencer. Now, if you excuse me, I must go and collect the tables and chairs, so I can meet Gordon and Rebecca later on. As Spencer puffed away first, and the engines followed. While Thomas picked up the trucks from Nafford's yard and took them to the Blue Mountain Quarry, the other engines were busy doing their jobs for the technology fair, as Gordon raced for the express, including Rebecca too, and Emily collected her supplies from Nafford's yards. While Nia, Percy, and Spencer raced to Brendan Docks to collect their trains. Soon the three engines arrived at Brendan Docks. Salty and Porter, Big Mickey, Carly, and Cranky were busy strengthening trucks. But Salty and Porter while the cranes loaded the stuffs. Here you are, Nia, said Salty. The steers for the wheel. Here, be careful for the beams, because they're very heavy. Don't worry, Salty, said Nia. I will be. Thank you. Nia puffed away. Then Salty switched tracks and buffered the tents for Percy. Here you are, Percy, said Salty. Tents for the people to stay in. Thanks, Salty, said Percy. Percy puffed away. Then Porter took him up with Spencer's trucks. Here you are, Spencer, said Salty. The chairs and tables for the visitors. There's well people, you know. Thank you, Porter, said Spencer, and Spencer puffed away. Soon, Thomas dropped the trucks off the Blue Mountain Quarry as he raced to Napa Station to pick up his coaches. However, Thomas really wanted to show the Fat Controller how really useful he and his friends are. He wanted to make sure that him and his friends get to a place. But Thomas's plan was starting to go into trouble. When Thomas was puffing to Napa Station, he saw Neil derailed. The beams and flatbeds were off the line. Luckily, they were not covered in Thomas's way, but Neil could not bring them since they all crashed. Oh no, said Thomas. What happened? I'm sorry, Thomas, said Neil. There was a little bump in the track, and then they all spilled off. Don't worry, said Thomas. I'll go and find Harvey. He can help us. And Thomas raced off to find Harvey. Meanwhile, the role-playing was out and busy doing his job, as it was telling people that there will be a technology fair at Ulster Castle. However, Percy saw the role-playing. He got distracted. He was trying to say hello to it. Hello, said Percy. Percy didn't know that there was another engine with a goods train in front of him. That engine was Edward. He was waiting on a signal to turn green. He and the other family members were also told to help with some of the preparations, as well as doing some other work. But Edward didn't know Percy was behind him. And Percy didn't know Edward was in front of him. But once Percy noticed that Edward was in front, he was surprised. Brakes! Brakes! Edward, look out! Said Percy. Edward heard Percy's voice and looked back and was surprised. Oh no, said Edward. I can't go past the signal. It's still red. Edward was right. He couldn't go. Percy braked and braked, but it was too late. Percy smashed through Edward's train. However, the tents also derailed off the tracks as they fell onto the ground, covered in dirt. Luckily, no one was hurt. Percy's fireman driver jumped out before Percy crashed, but Percy and his goods train were derailed. Edward's train, on the other hand, some of it was still on the rails, but some of Edward's goods were spoiled. Sorry, Edward, said Percy. It's fine, said Edward. Thomas was popping down the tracks, and he saw the mess. Oh no, said Thomas. What happened here? I was trying to say hello to the road plane, said Percy. See, and I wasn't paying attention until I saw Edward in front of me. Don't worry, said Edward. But it was not your fault, Percy. You're just want to say hello. Since that role play we saw yesterday, it's all of you, like since we to Sodor. Oh, said Thomas. Now the Fat Controller is never going to believe us, since we're not really useful, said Thomas. Thomas had an idea. Don't worry, Percy. I can go and get Rocky to help you. Sadly, Emily can't get Rocky because, even though she's the permanent rescue engine, but she's very busy today. I'll have to get Rocky myself. And Thomas puffed away to find Rocky, including Harvey. Meanwhile, at Ulster Castle, there was no much work being done, and none of the engines arrived. The Fat Controller was there with Root. They were starting to get worried. Oh, I wonder where's all my engines now, said the Fat Controller. They should have been here by now. I know, said Root. I was hoping they would arrive on time, you know. Just then, the Fat Controller heard a familiar whistle. Root didn't know the whistle because, well, she only met a few of them yesterday. day. The Fat Controller saw the engine arriving. He was pleased. Ah, said the Fat Controller. Here's Spencer, with tables and chairs. Spencer was the first engine to arrive, and he was on time, since he's one of the fastest engines on Sodor. So, I have bought the tables and chairs, he said happily. Well done, Spencer, said the Fat Controller. Where are the other engines? Spencer was surprised. Wait, they're not here? No, said the Fat Controller. You're the first one to arrive. And you're on time as well. Spencer was surprised. Last engines I saw were Neil and Percy, collecting their supplies. They left before me. Said the Fat Controller. I hope nothing bad happened to them. Well, said Spencer, I don't know what happened to them. Sorry. Oh dear, said Root. I hope they were going to be here by now. We need to get the project done on time. The Fat Controller Spencer agreed with Root. Oh well, said the Fat Controller, you might as well have to try and find some of the other engines, see where they're gone off to. Yes, sir, said Spencer happily. Meanwhile, on the Vicarstown rolling bridge, there was a mysterious engine waiting on the other side. He said, gruffly, as he went over the bridge. At Vicarstown, Rosie and Henry were there as usual, when the mysterious engine puffed in beside Rosie. Henry and Rosie saw him. Hello there, said Rosie. Who are you? Said Henry. The engine growled. Gah, he said. Rosie and Henry were offended and got cross. Huh, said Rosie. Rosie puffed away. So rude, said Henry, and Henry puffed away as two engines puffed away with their trains. But the engine didn't care. Well, he may have think he went over, but he was trying to stay focused. Two men came out of his cab, but they were not a fireman or driver. So they searched around. And, right then, Bernie, said tall one. Now we need to find that castle. Of course, Spaz, said Bernie, who was a small fella. Do you mean Autumn Castle? Said the station master. Bernie and Baz and Bernie were surprised by this. Yes, they said. Yes, said Bernie. It's like no steering thing. Baz punched Bernie's tummy. Ouch, said Bernie. Of course not, said Baz. Now, where is this castle you were talking about? said Baz. Meanwhile, at the Social Rescue Center, Howard was resting before any other emergencies when Thomas arrived. Rocky, said Thomas. Hello, Thomas, said Howard. What are you doing here? Is Rocky here? Said Thomas. Sorry, said Howard. Rocky's busy. Oh, bother, said Thomas. This just gets bad and badder, said Thomas. All the engines are getting late, he said, as he puffed off to Napa Station, trying to find Harvey, as well as Rocky. But I do know where he is, but Thomas where he left. Oh no, said Howard. I was just going to tell him he was at the docks. But Thomas didn't hear Howard. He was already gone to Napa Station. Oh well, said Howard. But if he needs my help, then I'll just have to wait. At Napa Station, Annie and Clara were still waiting for Thomas, until Thomas finally arrived. There you are, Thomas, said Annie. We've been waiting for you, said Clarabelle. We should have put up the workbench hours ago. I'm trying to look for Rocky. Couldn't Harvey, said Thomas. Have you seen them? Not really, said Annie and Clarabelle. Said Thomas. I better go and look for them. I'll be back soon, said Thomas. Thomas raced off to find them. But Thomas, said Annie. Did someone mention my name? Said Harvey. Oh, said Annie and Clarabelle. Well, they told what Thomas told them. Oh, said Harvey. Well, I better go and look I better follow Thomas then, and Harvey raced off. Meanwhile, out on the main line, Thomas was thinking about Rocky and Harvey. Said Thomas. Where could they be? I have to get Rocky first, since he might be the easiest one, maybe, said Thomas. Wait, said Thomas. Let's see. If I get them first, then I can get to Andy Crabber. The sooner and better, said Thomas. And Thomas raced off and took the tracks down to look at Brendan Docks. Meanwhile, Harvey was still looking down line for Thomas when he saw Nia. He saw the crash Nia was in. Hello, Nia, said Harvey. What happened here? The beams I was taken to the castle and they fell off the line because of a bumping track. Thomas said he would go and find you. So that was what Thomas was looking for, said Harvey. He wanted me to help you. Don't worry, Nia. I'm here now. But what about Thomas? said Nia. I know. He was going to look for Rocky for some reason. And the Crabber told me. They don't know why, though. But anyways, I better help you while I'm here. Thank you, Harvey, said Nia. And Harvey got to work. He soon got Nia back onto the tracks. Thank you, Harvey, said Nia. You're welcome. Said Nia. It looks like the beams are damaged. I suppose, said Harvey. I might as well go down to Brendan Docks and get you ones. Don't worry, I'll stay here and clean up the mess, said Harvey. Okay, thanks, Harvey. Bye. Goodbye, Nia. As Nia raced off and Harvey cleaned up the mess. Meanwhile, back with Evan and Percy, they were still stuck. Oh dear, said Percy. It's taking Thomas long to get Rocky. Wonder what's holding him up, said Edward. I suppose that Rocky's busy and it's hard for Thomas to find him. I think I also overheard him that he needs to find Harvey as well, whatever that is. Said Edward. Just then, the two engines heard a familiar whistle. That sounds like James, said Percy. It is James, said Edward. Look, there he is now. For some reason, he has Chinese breakdown coins with him. Edward was right. James had the Chinese breakdown coins with him. My word, said James. What happened here? The two engines quickly explained. Also, said Edward, what are you doing with the Chinese breakdown coins, James? Have you just come back from an accident on your side of the island? No, said James. In fact, I'm on patrol. The Fat Controller wants me to patrol the island while work on the technology fair was going on, and when people arrived, said James. So the Fat Controller ordered me to be on my guard, patrolling the island, and he said me and Emily can do this from now on to time when we don't have much work to do. Oh, said Edward, that sounds cool. Yes, said Percy. But since I'm here now, looks like you two need some help, said James. Oh, yes, said Edward. But as Edward and Percy watched James putting the Chinese breakdown coins into action, they got to work. Firstly, the cranes lifted Percy off the tracks and put him down on the other side of the line. Thank you, said Percy. Then turned back. Some workmen uncoupled the derail truck from Edward's train, and Edward lifted some of his trucks back onto the line. There we are, said James. Thank you, said Edward. Looks like I'm going to need a spare truck, said Edward. And look, the tents are all covered in dirt. I'll have to head back down to docks and get some more, said Percy. You two go on, said James. I had to clean up this mess anyways. Alright then, said the two engines. I better get back to the docks. Bye. And Percy raced off. I might as well deliver the rest of my load to my destination. Good luck with the mess, said Edward, as Edward puffed off. See you two, said James, and James went back to work, cleaning the mess. Meanwhile, down by the docks, most things were quiet down there, and Howard was right. Rocky was there helping down the docks. Salty was arranging some trucks for Cranky, so he can put some stuffs onto the trucks. There we are, me hearties, says Salty. Thank you, Salty, said Cranky. Just then, they heard the whistle. It was Thomas's whistle, but Thomas was coming in so fast. Thomas raced round the corner. No. Thomas, said Cranky, slow down! Get out of the way, me hearties, said Salty. There's about to be a crash. Whoa, said Rocky. Rocky quickly turned his load away so they don't collision with Thomas. Thomas saw the trucks. Oh no, said Thomas. Thomas applied his brakes, but it was too late. Thomas bashed through the trucks. Thomas backed out, but he saw the mess. Oops, said Thomas. Thomas was Rocky. Rocky, said Thomas. Thank goodness you're here. Don't worry, said Rocky. I'll get this mess cleaned up. Soon, the fire control arrived at Brendan, Docks, and Winston. Spencer arrived there. He was just checking on if the special guest arrived yet, but hasn't. Just then Nia, Percy, and Emily arrived. The fire controller heard about Nia and Percy's accident. However, he didn't mind, but he was not happy with Thomas. Rocky had to go back to the Social Security Center, but luckily, Nia and Percy told the factory about Harvey and James. It was a good thing Harvey and James found Percy and Nia, including Edward, about the accidents. I'm sorry, sir, said Thomas. I just wanted to do the best job ever. Well, said the fire controller, what's happened has happened, said the fire controller. Now, we're all going to need to work extra hard now, said the fire controller. Percy and Nia, you better collect some UBs and tents. Emily and Spencer, I want you to bring some more supplies to the castle. So, while Spencer's waiting for Gordon and Becca to finish their express trains, including the ship away with a special guest, and Thomas used to need to collect those workmen. Yes, sir, said all the engines, as they went off to get to work. The back control was right. The engines worked hard. Percy collected U-10s. Nia collected U-beams. Emily and Spencer picked up some more supplies. And Thomas collected Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas didn't arrive at Farquhar and picked up the workmen as he raced off to Ulster Castle. Meanwhile, the fire controller was checking some stuff and he was still at Brendan Docks when Gordon, Rebecca, and Spencer arrived. Gordon and Rebecca finished their passenger train, and Spencer finished the supply train he took with Emily. Wait. Oh, I can't wait, said Gordon. Me too, Rebecca. I wonder who this guest is. Could be a famous one, said Spencer. Well, you're about to find out, said the fire controller as he talked to the train. The ship is about to arrive and unloaded. The fire controller needs to stop the engine for one moment. Oh, said the fire controller, I also forgot to tell you this morning. Thanks, the fire controller. He quickly asked the train engine a favor. I need one of you, said the fire controller, to weld these flags. Red flags, said Gordon. What are those? Actually, said the fire controller, one of the workers will explain. They know better than me. Besides, the fire controller, I need to get back to Knapford. He walked away. One of the workmen at the docks came over. Right, said a dock's workman. Since you three are the three fastest in Sodor, and most likely, well, the fastest steam team is what I meant. But anyway, said the workman. This red flag tells other engines and people that that you three are carrying a heavy load. This, for example, could be with any heavy loads. Example being the guests you three are being told to pick up, said the workman. Now, do we have any volunteers? I'll do it, says Spencer. Does this mean I get to wear those during patrolling the technology fair, like I heard James is on patrol with the Chinese breakdown planes? Yes, said the workman. Fit them on me then, said Spencer. The workmen fitted the red flags on Spencer to let other engine people know that they're carrying a heavy load. There, said Spencer. That'll do the trick. Look, said Rebecca. The boat's arriving. Let's go, said Gordon. The tree engine just went over to on the other side of the docks. Gordon and Rebecca went onto the little wooden beam, and Spencer went on the other track. The tree engine was surprised. Whoa, they said. However, I can't tell you what this is. I'll tell you later on. Soon, Thomas and Percy both arrived at the same time with their train. Route was there. I got the workmen's, said Thomas, and I got the U-10s, said Percy. Sorry about the delays, though. We had a quite unexpected day, you know. That's all right, said Root. At least you're here now. Now come on, everyone, said Root. We need to get everything ready back on time, said Root. Come on, Percy, said Thomas. We got other work to do. As Thomas raced off an Onion Cloud and Percy followed. Root went back to work. Work on the technology fair was doing well. Come on, everyone, said Root. We may have a long way to go to, but as long as we work as a team together, we'll get things done on time, she said. Just then, the mysterious engine that Rosie and Henry we saw at Beckerstown arrived. However, he actually had nameplates, and he goes by the word Sonny. And as two men, Baz and Bernie, stepped out. However, they were rude to Sonny. You took your long time, you piece of rusty engine, said Baz, as they took off their hats. Well, no. Just then, the other saw them. And what do you two think you're doing? He said. Oh, well, we're chefs, said Baz and Bernie, as they switched their hats to chef hats. We cook lovely foods. Yeah, I don't like we're not here to steal anything, said Bernie. Baz hit Bernie again, trying not to make them like the criminals which they are. What my colleagues trying to say here, said Baz, is we are not here to steal any foods or not for recipes. Of course not. No, we are just cookers, you know. The other looked puzzled. He wasn't too sure on having cooks at his castle. So Robert, said Root, I need to know where we can put these for the power supplies. Oh, coming, said the Earl. Phew, said Baz and Bernie. That was close. At last, all the engines were back together working as a team. As they all worked hard doing their chores as the back control would give them to. Later that evening, up at the castle, Thomas arrived. He bought some more beams. He had to deliver some more beams since he knew he had to go and pick up some other supplies. I bought some more beams for the wheel. Thanks, Thomas, said Root. You know, Thomas, I think I know why you have the number one. I can see why you have the number one, because you're so really useful. Thomas was blushed. Really? Of course. You know, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to be an engineer. Thomas was surprised by this. And you know, steam engines is is one of the best inventions. Wait, so that means I'm an invention? Said Thomas. Yes, Thomas, you are, said Root. One of the best. Thomas turned blushed as James's red paintwork. Just then, Thomas and Root heard 3 whistles. Those whistles were for Rebecca, Spencer, and Gordon, arriving as special guests. Spencer was leading the way. Stand by, everyone, said Spencer. Spencer had the red flag that he was given. Spencer was just making sure that the special guests arrived safely. We got a big load arriving. Where you got those, said Thomas. Well, I got them from the docks. I decided to wear these. I've been told I must wear these when I'm pulling a heavy train. Wow, said Thomas. That's cool. Yeah, I know, said Spencer. Just then, Rebecca and Gordon arrived with the special guests. Cool, said Ruth. The special guest is here. She raced over. Thomas looked a bit sad. He was worried that this special guest may be better than them. Later that night, Baz and Bernie and Sony were in the siding. They had a fire on. Baz would explain the plan. So, what we're going to do, said Bernie? Simple, said Baz. Inventions makes people rich, don't they? So, said Baz, what we need to do at that castle when everything's open or whenever, we steal the invention, and then we would tell everyone that we made the invention, and boom, we get money. Oh, said Bernie, steal the invention. Of course, said Baz delightedly, as he put out the fire on his food. Baz was an invention. The next morning, the engines were busy again, as they were doing the simple jobs, bringing the supplies to the castle. However, Thomas was heading down to Brendan Docks. Thomas puffed into Brendan Docks. Salty was there. Hello, Salty, said Thomas. The Fat Control ordered me to pick up a very special delivery. Do you know what it is? I'm your hearties, said Salty. There it is. Before Thomas could look, a whistle was heard. It was Spencer's. Hello, everyone, said Spencer. What are you doing here, Tom? What are you doing here, Spencer? Asked Thomas. The Fat Controls ordered me to pick up a very special delivery. I, said Salty. I don't think he told you to, but this delivery is for you two to take together. Thomas and Spencer were puzzled. Then they saw their delivery. It was a jet engine. It was way bigger than the one Thomas took years ago when he passed Gordon with it. Whoa, said Thomas. Look at the size of that. It's huge. Probably the fastest jet engine in the whole world, said Spencer. I hope it didn't get damaged while I was unloading, said the inventor. He was from Germany. I'll have you know, said Cranky, that I unload things carefully. So do Carly and Big Mickey. Eventually, said Cranky, said Carly. Yeah, said Big Mickey. Whatever, said Cranky. Oh, never mind that now, said the inventor. Now, does then the inventor press a button that was set off the jet engine? Oh, no, not like this, said the inventor. But it was too late. The jet engine jumped blast and raced off. Oh dear, said Thomas. It's getting away. Don't worry, said Thomas. I'll help you. There's no way you're going to catch it in time, said Spencer. You're going to need a fast engine for this job. The jet engine raced past through outside the docks. Thomas and Spencer so quickly were catching up. Thomas switched points as Spencer took the track he was on. The jet engine was so fast that it was hard to catch up. It raced past 2 stations. Then there was trouble. A signal turned red. Toby was puffing onto a siding. He was heading off to his next job, and he was just passing over the section point when all of a sudden the jet engine raced by. But with a quick of time, Toby got out of the way just in time. "Whoa," said Toby. "What was that?" Just then, Thomas raced by. Then Spencer. The jet engine raced through a tunnel. However, Thomas and Spencer were at full speed, and so was the jet engine, but the two engines were catching up. "Help," said the inventor. Just then they saw a siding. Thomas had an idea. "I'll never catch up to the front in time. I had to take the back. Maybe if I go to those set of points in front of you," said Spencer, "I can go into that siding and use all my speed to get up to the front and apply my brakes in front while you get to the back." "Good idea," said Thomas. Two engines started so that as the jet engine raced over the set of points. "Point," said the two engines. The point switched. Spencer quickly went onto the siding, points again, and Thomas went behind the jet engine. They were catching up. Spencer overtook the jet engine. Thomas tried to get to the back. As he tried to dodge the flames, he quickly buffeted up to the back and applied his brakes. "Oh," said Thomas. Thomas tried to reverse at full speed while applying his brakes. Spencer knew he had to hurry. He knew Thomas can't hold on long, and he knew the flames could get into Thomas. "Points," said Spencer. Spencer went over the points. "Points again," said Thomas. As Thomas raced past the jet engine over the points. Thomas had his brakes full on and Thomas stopped going backwards as he put his brakes full on. This was slowing the jet engine down. Then Spencer slowed down and buffeted up. Spencer applied his brakes as well. "Good work, you two," said the inventor. "Now, if I could just..." The inventor quickly put on the stop button that would stop everything for the jet engine from moving. But just then, there was a cow in the way. The two engines put their brakes on fully. Luckily, they came to a stop just in time, and the jet engine was turned off. "Well done, you two," said the inventor. "I thought I was going to end up back in Germany again," he said. "Huh," said Thomas. "So did I, but we've never been to Germany before," said Spencer. "Oh yeah," said Thomas. Soon the cow was off the track. Moo. As Spencer and Thomas, as the inventor got into Spencer's cab, and Thomas and Spencer pulled and pushed the jet engine up to Ulster Castle. Soon, Spencer and Thomas arrived on time. "Hello, Spencer and Thomas," said Ruth. "Being really useful, as always, you two." "Well," said Spencer, "good thing I have my red flag with me to let engines know that it is one of a jet engine, as well as a heavy load, you know." "They were more than really useful," said the inventor as he stepped out of Spencer's cab. "They were two brave engines." Thomas and Spencer smiled at each other. You see, Thomas," said Root, "as I told you yesterday evening, steam engine is one of the best inventions." Thomas smiled. "Maybe we won't get replaced after all," said Thomas. "Of course not," said Spencer happily. "Come on, everyone," said Root. "We need to get this finished. We're opening tonight." Thomas and Spencer were looking forward to it. As the two of them uncoupled from the jet engine, Spencer puffed away, including Thomas, as they went to refill water and coal. Soon, the technology fair, aka, as the show is called, World of Tomorrow, is finally now open. Everyone was looking forward to see what the inventions are. However, the special guests like Gordon, Rebecca, and Spencer took it. The first one said to be on the first list. The Steam California members were there as they were watching the technology fair being open. when they heard the and Root making an announcement. Hello everyone, they said, and welcome to World of Tomorrow, the name of the technology for our show. Now, we do have some announcements, don't we, Root? Yes, we have our very own special guest who comes all the way from Japan. He's big, he's strong, and he's the fastest engine in the world. So where's here for Kenji? And they were indeed worldwide. Eat. Opening the curtains was a big, huge engine known as Kenji. Kenji was the fastest engine in the world from Japan. Whoa, said all the engines. Whoa, said Gordon and Spencer. Since they were two fast engines, they were surprised. Look at the size of him, said Henry. He looks strong, said James. Said Edward. It looks like he's brand new. I hope none engine like those come to Sodor, said Toby. Well, I hope he'll be nice, Emily. Yes, Rebecca. Agreed, said Nia. He looks cheerful, said Percy. See? However, as the Bernie would tell, Sony was not seen. The two of them were watching, but they soon stopped as Root went on about Kenji. Kenji is an electric engine all the way from Japan. Has electric beam and is powered by electric. So that's what those were for, said Neil. No wonder me and Thomas took them here. But Thomas was worried. With that electric engine, since it's the fastest engine in the world, said Thomas, I think we might be a place after all. The other engines, on the other hand, didn't really hear Thomas what he was saying. However, Thomas had a feeling that they will be a place after all. To be continued in the next Soul's Great Adventure episode, coming soon.
Let's go, and have some adventures with Thomas and Norris. When Sodor's greatest adventures.